afternoon. It's me. I think it's me, Pat Miller, the Gabb, Gabby Gourmet, on a yucky Friday, but it's very warm and happy because I get to be with my favorite guy, Ryan Fletter of Barolo Grill. And I broke out and went to a restaurant last night. Barolo
Woohoo!
Grill. Hello, what a treat. I mean,
Oh,
you have no I well, yeah, you do. It feels like human.
I love it.
So
I've been obviously doing this for a year. We all are celebrating or commiserating our year, and I've watched a lot of folks coming back in the last few weeks, especially, and vaccinations and such are doing a lot for that. But it's really kind of like a homecoming for a lot of myself.
it
I've been
is.
waiting for everyone, and I've just been
Oh,
pushing groceries, little baggies out the door on the curbside. We're open, we're closed, see inside, see outside. I've been just running around like a maniac, and it's incredible. A year later, I get to welcome some of my greatest guests, and as they all get to come back into the world a bit, because the restaurant business, of course, or the restaurants have been so challenging.
well, probably amongst the worst challenged
Yeah,
as a business. I mean, it's horrible what's been going on.
yeah.
And somebody like me who didn't go, I haven't helped you all, but now I'm vaccinated and you just have, oh, I'm sure you do, but just to think this was my world that I loved and now it's back. But tell us what's happening at
Yeah.
Barolo. Start
Yeah.
with,
So, at Barolo, we built an outdoor patio during the summer when we were allowed to expand into our parking lot, which has turned out to be enormously well received. And that was during the summer. And then in the fall, as the mandates changed and we started to lose some of our occupancy, we had to start considering the winterizing factor, which we did. And we've built these bungalows, which are these little, I hate to use the word huts or pods because they're individual, chambers, they're really nicely done and warm and cozy and outfitted so that anyone who's uncomfortable being inside or just wants private time because it's such a chaotic time. There's been a lot of use of them. I've had teenage birthday parties because they haven't had any ability to connect, and the parents have organized, 4 or 5 of their favorite, closest pod members, and so we've had really, really wonderful celebrations outside and inside.
I don't want to interrupt, but I kept thinking, what a great way to do a Gabby Gourmet dinner.
I love it.
Everything, I mean, how many pods are in there?
Well, so there's 17. And they're surrounded by fire pits and there's music. And so it feels active, which is
All
really
I
awesome.
could think of is, ooh, would that be fun?
And I think that's really going to be this next chapter we get to come out of is if we've all been vaccinated and we all can kind of go back into the public, even if cautiously so, we'll have some other demand and use for these because they're so lovely. And maybe it's not need, it's more want. So
Oh,
right now we're
it
doing,
would just be so cool. And I don't want to interject other than to say your bungalows are not exactly like some of the other pods where greenhouses, whatever they are.
yeah.
They're very lovely, but they're tiny. This is huge and spacious. I
Yep.
mean, you do not have claustrophobia at all.
And that was my big design question when I did these. We built these custom. We didn't buy anything prefabricated. So we wanted them to be bigger than these little tiny short ceiling claustrophobic environments like you're saying. And those were my immediate turnoff, because we have people who want to space, and we have space. We're lucky enough instead of living on just a little sidewalk. So we did take advantage of our square footage outside in that we could make these larger so that if you're 2 people or 4 people and even 6 people, they're really comfortable. And with the idea that you could put 10 or 12 or 15 people in these because
Oh,
we can take the walls out. So they're
aha.
separated.
So if somebody needs a table of 10 when that time
Right.
comes.
and we may not have it inside the dining room, or maybe our little private dining room is full because somebody else has booked it. So the next chapter of these they could be really great for groups of 10 and 12, business group, a celebration. A wedding group could take over the whole outside. There's a lot of fun ahead that we haven't really been able to actuate yet. But we built these with that in mind. Those little greenhouses and all the little prefabricated things, you really couldn't do that without taking a jigsaw and a hacksaw and start modifying. So we built these with the idea that they could be kind of Legoed together and taken
Okay.
apart a little bit.
And many people I know, I mean, not you and me, but couldn't fit comfortably into some of those tiny spaces.
Yeah,
Where
agree.
in this, even if you go to the extra large size
Yeah.
person, they could be comfortable here.
They are, and the other thing I considered was when this was all happening, they weren't allowing groups larger than 6 or
Right.
8, and I figured that would continue. So I knew that there was no real encouragement for society or legislators to encourage groups of 10 or 12. All the business groups had kind of dissipated for the while, and I know they're coming back, and therefore we're ready when they do to expand to be comfortable instead of squeezing. So we have a lot of opportunity ahead. Right now, it's really been groups of 2 and 4 everywhere. And if you,
Which I happen to enjoy anyway.
yeah, and it really is kind of that's the environment right now. But I know the roaring 20s are ahead, and we feel like everyone's going to want to get back out and hug and kiss a bit, even cautiously, and see friends. Everyone celebrates their vaccination, celebrates whatever economic recurring, uptake has happened, just the environment, being alive and healthy and safe, and, making it through this. I think you're going to find groups of 8 and 10 and just wanting to gather, even if it's close neighbors and people who still safe, but they stay close to home and they want to say, let's go out 3 nights this week. Once with my loved one, once with my, maybe a business partner, and maybe just a gathering, a gaggle of friends. And you're going to want to be able to freely do that, and whether it's inside or outside. And I know there'll be folks who are hesitant to going inside for a long time, regardless, just because this was such a traumatizing thing. And some of it is just you can or you can't, or you will or you won't. And what you do at Barolo, you might do differently because we are also 5-star certified. We
Well, you
have
did a fabulous job.
we have space between all tables. We have sanitizers everywhere. We've had 0 COVID issues in the entire 12 months, a few scares at most. And that's to celebrate that we've done
For
protocols
you.
regardless. And
Yeah.
so the inside, the outside, the private room, the bar area, the few tables that are in the private rooms and the booths, they're all really, really safe and sound. And really, we're gonna have gorgeous weather coming up after this
Yeah.
weekend, and we'll have beautiful blue skies and starry nights ahead. So that'll be fun outside as well.
Tell us, okay, now tell us about the menus and things going on at Barolo.
So originally, when we had to close, of course, and we had to do just to-go food, we started doing things like we'd never done before: chicken parmesan, you
It's
know,
really good.
bologneses, all the recipes and things that we've been doing over the years. But what foods traveled well, what continue to travel well. So we still do uh,
Okay, that's my next
go
question.
food for those who want to pick up and eat in their own house, like this weekend where weather's an issue or safety. You can still get eggplant parmesans and chicken parmesans and the things that are really nice comfort foods to go. You can also get, our braised duckling. You can also get beef tenderloin. You can celebrate with a really high end something. You can do something very modest. You can do fried calamari, and that travels well. You can take the same cheesecakes and panna cottas that we do. So the to-go food has something that we had started day one on March 17th, and we have not stopped since. Now, our in-house that changed back in the summer, we had limited seating, 40 seats, and we went into a 3-course or a 4-course menu, or a 3-course and 5-course menu. Then as the world started to open up a bit more and the outside was more applicable, we started changing into just a 4-course menu. And that's an appetizer or salad, a little pasta, a protein, and then a dessert. And everyone was really thankful that we made the selections easy. You can still choose if you want a piece of meat or fish or an allergy. We did that through the summer. And then we found ourselves getting mandated again and closing down, obviously, in the November, December months. When we reopened in January, we continued the four-course menu, which is for our 25% capacities. Now then we've reopened into a 50% capacity. That really changes the dynamic and the outside covered winterizing. So now we've kind of headed into March, and we've obviously arrived at a plateau maybe for COVID conditions, hopefully.
I
So
hope.
I'm hoping our mandates won't change, and they'll only continue to loosen, but based on safety, of course. And then that allows us to now open up our menus a bit more. It's really challenging for the chefs to buy food that's perishable and then not sell it or sell certain par levels when you're dealing with a really random amount of folks coming in for to go, in-house, outhouse, pardon the
That
pun.
that's horrible for the chefs to start with.
It's a lot of
Get the
stress.
delivery out and get the people served and out.
And as an example, all the delivery companies said that we won't deliver tomorrow, Saturday. So the chefs
I
need
heard that. Is that really true?
through. So they basically made everyone deliver by today to forecast and project what you'll need today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, whoever's open.
I
So,
don't think the people know that.
yeah. So we had phone calls early this week that said, you better have all your perishable foods in. So today was our last delivery. So, of course, the chefs get nervous. Do I have too much, too little? Is it going to go the distance through this weekend if we get a close, what looks to be like a snow lockdown?
Okay,
Uh,
excuse me. You're talking about delivery companies to you.
yeah.
Or do you don't have delivery, or do
We
you?
don't have any, we don't
Oh,
do
so you
anything.
don't have to worry.
So we
Okay.
won't have that concern. And I'm sure a lot of folks are starting to think about how they'll have foods delivered to them, and that's where
I
DoorDash.
don't I don't think they're gonna be able to do that
I
from
don't
what
think
I
so
hear.
either. Now, it makes me kind of go, are we going to be doing to-go food tomorrow? Are people, within a 1 mile radius or 2 mile radius isn't such a challenge to make your way out. So we're all kind of with bated
I don't
breath.
think we know.
We don't know. And they think the snow will start this midnight. If it gets pushed into later and then it sort of drags into Saturday night.
I heard Saturday afternoon the last time.
So I really think Sunday and Monday will be the
Right.
biggest challenges. We are
They're
lucky enough that
closed.
we're already closed. So chefs and I, we're all just every day kind of doing a three-legged race to get through this. But this is a good example of the conditions that we've been dealing with. If it's not COVID, it's a snowstorm. If it's not political or if it's not stimulus dialogues, it's really kind of taking all the airspace. And it's been really challenging to be overly creative and do something maybe a bit radical when it comes to making decisions with your menus and your staffing. You've just had to kind of put your head down and keep kind of working through each day. And luckily, we've been able to do that and continue to do that. And that's how today will be.
So you are gonna do a la carte again.
We are going to do a la carte again. We actually have already started allowing a la carte back to the bar, which is a very limited bar. There's only 4 seats or
Oh,
five where they're spaced out. And we've opened that up. And so you can go to our website right now and order basically a ticket or a seat for a bar seat anytime from here on out.
I'd
Um,
love to.
and then that will transition into the dining rooms very soon, certainly during the week. And then we'll start to get ourselves out of this congestion of the weekends so that we can equalize, because it does impact, again, chefs and how they order and how they're preparing and all the random activity that can happen very last minute in our restaurant world, which we're so used to. Extra factor of, are we prepared for it? And if anyone was to be sick or have to stay away because they were exposed near somebody, we've had to deal with those issues. We've dealt with them very well. Nobody has really been sick, but we've been very precautious. So at any point, we're always concerned, myself or the chef, any of our leaders, of course, let alone our other sub staffs and such, that are anybody going to not be showing up tomorrow to work because
Sure.
they might have had a loved one or somebody exposed while we're still in this transition. So we're preparing ourselves for that every day as well.
You seem to have your staff there.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I could see last night,
Mhm.
it was sort of old home week.
Yeah, we haven't lost anyone. We've been able to hold on to everybody. We've just manipulated our schedules. We've stretched it out. And if somebody is having to stay away for a day or two to clear a COVID concern or a friend or a neighbor or anything, we've been able to modify our staff a bit more and say, okay, and we're also really used to restaurant world, which is we just did 200 covers yesterday, and now we're doing 50 covers tonight, and then the next day it's another 200 people to go. And so we're pretty
That's
agile.
the
I have
restaurant.
an extraordinarily agile team. The chefs and everybody are so able to handle this. So some very professional players that can work smoothly through the obstacles. Even like propane tanks, I've had to, I have to load them in the back of my car and deliver them every 3 days just to fill the outdoor heaters or the fire pits, and some of those
Right.
obstacles that we never organized ourselves that way before this.
And your staff has to know that they can be out in a blizzard.
And we were in a massive issue blizzard, I should say, just with our Valentine's
Well, I
week.
think that's what Hugh said to us. He said, it wasn't fun out here that night.
That was like military training, and we did really well. The staff did well, the guests did well. So we've had Arctic weather already. This is a bit more of, and we have shoveled ourselves out of the parking lot a few times already too, with our other spring snow that just occurred. So we're pretty ready for whatever happens to be safe this week. And then, of course, the mountain of water that will melt from all of that and run off the
Gosh.
buildings. So it'll be maybe some waterfalls this weekend, this next weekend when everything is 50 degrees again on Friday. So I can't say that I haven't seen a whole lot right now that's not happened already in this last 12.
I don't think we ever expected this
So
world.
yeah, so we're pretty trained up, and
But in
so I
all
think
honesty, the food was incredible,
awesome.
which the service was beyond incredible. And every detail of everything is still so perfect. But for somebody who doesn't know, who might be watching this,
Mhm.
the staff isn't intruding on you, and they're not in your face with their masks. There's a window and they only bring in the food and walk out unless you want something. And you just feel safe, but you feel very spoiled.
Which is really the key. And that's what Barolo has always been successful at. And we continue to try that under these conditions. So outside, in the case of these bungalows, as you mentioned, there's windows that we slide open to sort of just reach out. Do we need a cocktail or anything? We don't have to enter the space. We enter very quickly and exit when we bring food and wine in. And it does feel, I hope, to be non-intrusive. It's very fast. And then the staff is very well trained to remove themselves immediately, so you can feel safe and explain things with ample ability to do that within an 8 foot space, because you have the window, as you know, that slides open, and you can just kind of
Oh, that
have
was so much
conversation,
fun.
and you can really quickly chime in and just wave, or you can kind of keep passing by, so the staff is able to stay very engaged, just
Oh,
like it
yeah.
inside, just like at a
Oh,
regular table.
it was exactly just that.
And
And
we put the Italian prints that are the old,
oh, I
pretty prints
love
that we
my
have inside
pictures.
the restaurant. We went out of our way to find those, make those so that we could put them in the bungalows. My vision was, well, it needs to feel like you're inside
Oh,
Barolo. We have
I did. I
fireplace,
walked in. Woo, look at
we have
this.
carpets and rugs and the same chairs that you're sitting inside the restaurant, not a park or a patio bench or a chair that you're, not comfortable in.
Miserably. Yeah.
We've got a white tablecloth, the exact same silverware. It's not being blown out the side of the street because it's not covered, and there's heaters. You can hear music, so it really feels like being in the restaurant. Um,
Absolutely. And of course, you could be in the restaurant. So for summer or spring, it's spring now, we'll still be having everything wonderful that we always do at Barolo. I mean, there's just nothing better.
and
We've
and
been
we
there
have no
for what, 28 years?
28 years. 1992 was the beginning. So we are,
Oh, now
and
I feel old.
well, no, it's we're only halfway there. So
Okay. I might be a little old in another 28 years.
not at all.
No
You're
problem.
halfway.
No problem. I'll be around. And it is just so much fun. And one of these days, I know everything you're going through, and not for today, we should talk about the things that the restaurateurs, a la you, who is a huge spokesman for the restaurant group here, with the problems of the money and the servers and the taxes and the whatever going on, which just doesn't get better, And I saw again on television somebody's putting in a permanent tip. Well,
Mhm.
they're going to have to explain this so people know what's going on. And you just go, and it's all smooth and wonderful. And I know in the background for you it isn't, but you sure make it that way for us.
You're very sweet. One of the actual things I talked about in the very beginning of this in March, which occurred to me within the first 30 days, was us restaurateurs are going to need some therapy because there is a lot of people that we are
I agree.
and there's a little PTSD from managing all of
Oh,
the uh, affairs that go
absolutely.
on with from taxes to payrolls to mountains of paperwork to do for stimulus dollars, or you still have to do all of your audits and things that the insurance companies want while you're massively under rubber glove, masks on ladders trying to hang lights, and somebody's calling you to ask you for something that seems so pedantic at the moment under critical chaos. And then
Great
months of that
description.
going on and months not knowing where we head. And now that we're 12 months into it, us restaurateurs actually are the first ones that need to have maybe a big party with each other and just go, we made it. We took care of our staff and our guests and our vendors and all that, but now we need to take care of ourselves too. We've kind of
I
put
agree.
ourselves. I haven't been to the gym this year. I haven't been able to do
Right.
my kids and my wife. They're all on Zoom, and so there's a lot of activity that I hope we can focus on to help those who've been extraordinarily affected emotionally, physically, financially. Not just do I have a job, but I have a job to, hold up for dozens or, dozens of people, and try and do it with a smile every day, like nothing's wrong.
That
So,
speech that you just gave should go on national TV.
oh, well,
Seriously, because
I,
it's totally, totally true.
and we're not through it all yet either. That's the thing, is we really aren't done, and it feels like we're coming to a major milestone with vaccinations and folks returning. Um, we've had a lot of damage with people suggesting, of course, nationally, that restaurants are the most unsafe place, and that's messed with a lot of staff members. That's messed with their kind of psyche, makes them feel edgy. Guests, we've done everything we can do to improve that so that everyone has lots of space. We thermal check everybody who.
I just want my next reservation.
So and we're ready for you. We're ready for.
I'm ready. I'm so ready. I've just been all morning raving, and everybody's been, anyway, it's fabulous. But we are almost out of time anyway. Barolo Grill, hours. Tell me all the details.
Barolo has always been open the same shifts of Tuesday through Saturday night. We're closed Sunday, Monday. We're open from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock all those nights. You can go to our website, barologrilldenver.com, and you can click on any of the sites that will show you how to make a reservation or to see pictures, any COVID pop-up concerns, questions. Our phone number is 303-393-1040. A lot of folks love to call. They don't want to deal with the technology, and I don't blame them. Talk to a human being. We're ready to receive your phone call. We'll call you right back. The same. So if you want to reach out personally, or if you want to send us an email at info@barologrildenver, or just go to the website, you'll see all that information. And we are located on 6th Avenue, the 6th Avenue corridor on 6th and St. Paul. So we're really easy to access, even in crazy winter weather. So we're on 6th and St. Paul, and we have our indoor outdoor dining. We have our to-go foods. So if it's chicken parmesan or a 5-course menu, or if it's just a birthday night and a glass of wine, we're ready to grab onto whomever and try to get back to where we were. And I feel like we'll be doing that very, very soon.
I think you're doing it now.
I think we're doing it now. Thank
You
you.
are wonderful. I do adore you, and everybody knows it. But there's just nothing better than Barolo Grill. And God bless you. It makes it worth living and just such a treat to be
Thank you.
alive again. And I hope everybody gets back as soon as I do. But we
Awesome.
love you.
All right.
Thank you. And
So nice.
thank you for everything you have done for the restaurant business in the city and trying to help everybody. You're a
You as
love.
well, love. Thank you for everything you do.
I don't do anything. Much love.
Yeah,
Have a great day. See you soon.
you
Thank
too.
you all. Talk soon. Bye bye.
Ciao. Ciao for now.